Okay, so part 2
Yeah.
of our little tale.
And so we wake up in Agda. And Mom's like, the wind it's like stormy outside.
Stormy.
And Mom's like, oh, but the wind's blowing at our backs. We should do this like 51-kilometer bike
Without any
ride
power.
today with no power and no snacks. You know?
Yeah, we didn't have
There was
snacks.
no granola bars.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were out of our snacks, and honestly, so much stuff is closed.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit more challenging to find food than you would normally expect.
And you can't even read it. So,
Well, we're getting better at that.
Yeah.
Blech.
Anyways,
BLE.
so we start going, it's great, it's okay,
Yeah.
and then it gets bad.
Okay, so let's say it actually gets bad right off the bat.
Yeah.
So we get going, and we're right on the Mediterranean, right?
Yeah.
And so,
The
but there is
wind
a massive wind
howling.
coming up. Howling. We do have a video that we
Yeah.
took along the way.
Yeah.
But not only is the wind howling, but because we're right on the ocean, we're
It's
right.
like a sandstorm.
Yeah, there's we stopped and I made Rio put on sunglasses because we were literally in a sandstorm, like exfoliation. It was insane. Like we had sand over our faces and
Like
that was
it was
crazy.
like crusted at the corners of
Yeah.
your lips. It was disgusting.
I mean, I've done some pretty epic biking and I've gone through a lot of epic outdoor stuff. But this was next level, I have to say. And we were just fighting the wind. And we're on, like, our bikes have got big panniers. We are not, like...
Aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic, no. So anyway, whatever.
And
we're
so
struggle.
we are doing this, we do
Over
it for
20
like
kilometers.
over 20 kilometers. It was pain.
Anyway, and we get into, I don't even know where we were, but we were in some little
port town,
whatever. We go along and we're biking along restaurants. There's restaurants and a couple of them are open beside us.
Yeah. And we're like,
And we
deserve it.
We can smell food.
Yeah. And we're like, we deserve this.
It was not the cheapest food, but so whatever.
I don't think we cared.
No, we didn't care. But we go into this little place, and I have to say, like, kudos to the Frenchmen, because all along our struggles, there have been like really lovely, helpful Frenchmen,
and they're like,
and they leap to assist.
They really do.
Like sometimes more aggressively than necessary. But anyway, so we stopped in this one little cafe. We found a place that was open. I think we stopped in 3 before we found a place that was
like not closed for like the after lunch hour or whatever.
Their kitchen was still open.
Yeah.
And then nobody spoke French there. They kind of thought we were
English.
Like,
you mean?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I meant. They all spoke French. Anyway, whatever. They recommended something. It was a fish steak.
Yeah, it was, and Mom was like, "This is a pork chop," and I'm like, "Mom,
pork chop," and I was like, "It's like a pork chop."
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was a fish steak. It was good.
It was
anyway. So we had a wonderful big lunch, which we really needed. So we keep on going, and there's in 9 kilometers of McDonald's. So we're literally like biking from the McDonald's. We get to the McDonald's. We have fantastic hot chocolate.
Okay, if you ever go to like
chocolate.
Europe, go to McDonald's and get a hot chocolate because it's not like the bull crap you get in America.
So good.
So good.
Whipped cream on top. Anyway, we have our McDonald's and fries, hot chocolate and fries. And there's another McDonald's that, I don't know, like another 9 kilometers, whatever.
10 kilometers maybe?
So whatever, we're biking for the McDonald's. We get to the McDonald's, but we're actually making good time. I don't know, the wind must have shifted or something.
Yeah. No,
so
it was like...
But it was, by this time, it was pouring rain. Driving wind, and this was an endurance event.
And so, we're like, we'll
just keep going.
Kilometers.
16. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we still have 16 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
And we're about to turn towards the ocean again and go into the wind again.
Yeah.
Instead of at our side, almost knocking us over. So we decide to forego the McDonald's and just push on.
Going. And I'm doing great.
Mom, honestly.
And I'm without my power, and Mom was like, she told me that night, I had to use my power to keep up with you, and I was like,
She was like a machine. After the morning where I'm like, keep up.
The power of McDonald's.
Seriously.
Coursing through my blood.
Anyway, so whatever. Rio is like crushing it. And I am like actually struggling to keep up to the point where I have to like sneakily turn on my power assist onto one because mine is still working. And so I can keep up with her.
Sneaky bugger.
And I'm like, you're so rocking it. Oh my God. Anyway. So we're going and we're determined. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to make our accommodation.
And then there's like this hill and whatever.
We're on a
this,
very busy highway.
And this side road. And Mom's like, we could go on here.
Yeah, because we're on a fairly busy highway.
Yeah.
In the driving rain.
Yeah. And Mom is not loving it.
No, I am stressed.
So,
I see an alternate route.
And it looks paved, right?
It's
and
not
like
paved.
Shorter. It wasn't paved. And so we're going down this hill and
I
Mom's
hit a pothole, a significant pothole.
Yeah.
And I hit the pothole and then my bike just stops dead.
Oh.
And I get off and I realize my pannier, which is carrying...
No, your pannier rack.
My pannier rack, which is carrying like 50 pounds, has broken on both sides. Yeah. It's like beyond done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I get all, creative and do a MacGyver job with duct tape and zip ties, but that takes like another like half an hour.
Yeah. And there's like these dogs barking, and this man is like, no problem.
But by the time he came and realized what was going on,
we were already like...
had kind of solved it. Yeah. But so at this point in time, we have 16 kilometers to go. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. It's getting... Yeah. The sun goes down around 7.
6 kilometers back is like a train station.
So we have to make a call.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we should take the train.
Yeah. Do we... forget our accommodation that has already booked and paid for, but try to make it? Like, do we do that? Do we try to go another 16 kilometers into the wind and rain in now gathering darkness, with a broken pannier rack, which is just kind of like loosely held together with zip ties and duct tape? Or do we turn back and only do 6 kilometers back to a train station and then take a train towards Montepelle, where and find a room.
Yeah. And book honestly, a room on the train or whatever.
And I just decided
that's the smart call. It's the safest. And so we're biking back, and we're killing it,
Because the wind is now like
at our back. So we're moving. And so we go and we have to like carry our bikes. We figured out a way though to carry our bikes up and down the stairs, which is good.
Yeah, because a lot of the small train stations,
they don't have elevators, and you have to go up and down.
And these bikes are 100 pounds each now with gear, right? They're not.
We figured out a way. It's quite useful. Yeah. Anyways, and so we carry them up.
We get there.
We get on the train. Ticket. No. So the train comes, and the platform is like somehow way lower. Like it's like a gap like this.
It's about 18 inches.
Yeah,
the only place we've been to where you cannot actually roll your bike
so we'd have to
the train. So
lift up, and
it doesn't occur to us until the train pulls up and we run for the stupid bike door, because there's only 2 bike doors I think on each train.
And so
then the doors open and it's like
packed. First of all
packed. And
yeah,
then 18 inches above us,
and
we're
so
just
we're like, we can't. And we're like, oh God,
and then we had to and everybody in the train is like looking at us
and like
and not moving. And we're looking at the warm, dry refuge because it is still pouring rain and howling wind.
And it's dark now.
And now it's dark. And we just want to get on a train.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so
we had to watch the doors close.
And the train pull away. It was so
crushing.
And so we go into like the rain cover or whatever. And Mom gets her fleece on. Yeah. And so
whatever.
We
regroup.
We get on the next train.
And we redistributed our load.
Yeah, we got on
the
next train.
backpacks out.
Yeah.
Took the weight off my bike.
Mm-hmm. And so we get on the next train. Well, and this lovely man helps us.
Because we were determined. So we were like,
the next
I don't care what happens, we're getting on this train. Because it's almost 8 o'clock at night now. Yeah. Right? And so now the visions that we've always had that we laughed over this hilarious video about this guy who did this trip, and then he ended up sleeping under a bench in a ferry station, which I'm starting to understand a little bit more. Anyway, we're like, that's not us. Anyway, when we're like,
it might be us.
Anyway, So whatever. So we were like, I'm getting on that train. I don't even
Yeah.
care if I have to like push people down. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, like actually.
Anyway, so we have a plan.
Yeah.
So the plan is basically we've taken the panties off my bike. I'm like, and they're hanging on my handlebars. And I'm like, okay, Rio, you're gonna like get on the bike.
And you're gonna hold that door open and you're gonna
because the train cannot leave if someone's blocking the door.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hand you up my panties. And then you get on with my bike because we've taken all the weight off my bike.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hand you up the panties and then I'm going to push your bike on. And this wonderful, anonymous gentleman who honestly, this all happened so fast. I don't even really remember what he looked like.
He just was like,
yeah, he just was like super,
fast
superhero.
and efficient. And he left. And he was
And then,
gone. I think we were yelling,
I think we're like, mercy. Anyway, we got on the stupid train.
Yeah. And so we're going, and so there's like little things on the thing. Sorry. There's like screens on the train that are like, you know, have names or whatever, and it's like Nimes. And we don't really know where Nimes
Well, we
is.
assume
that it's like Nimes then Montipeller, right?
Yeah.
And so, but it wasn't. And so we have a couple stops and we're like, this is a really big train station. Interesting, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we look on our map and as the train's moving away and we're like, oh God, we've missed Montipeller.
Yeah.
You know?
we did not get off in time.
No.
So,
and so we arrive in Nimes and
no. So at this point,
Yeah.
I look at the map and I'm like, you know what? Let's just, because I have not yet booked, because now we've abandoned our booked accommodation for the night, like when we turned around and went back to the train station.
Yeah.
So we don't even have a place to sleep.
No.
At this point in time, and so when I realized we'd missed our stop in Montpellier, I said, I'll see if I can find a place in Nimes, and we did, and it was very close to the train station.
And it was lovely. It was simple.
Nimes was amazing.
I know, there's this massive amphitheater.
Train station and the big square, and it was quiet and beautiful.
Although, funny story from the train station, I did watch a dog poo in the train station. Right, like actively. And you know when you're like out on a walk and you realize you have no poo bags? That's what the owner of the dog went through.
In the train station.
In the train station. And so
Anyway.
I'm watching this and he goes through his pockets and he's like, oh my God. And
anyway, yeah, we had that moment.
yeah.
So we ended up staying overnight in Nimes, and I don't really recall where we stayed at this point in time. I just remember it was
The
good.
budget.
Oh yeah, that little
budget.
green spot.
Yeah.
Ibis.
Ibis.
Whatever. We don't know what it's called.
Budget.
But it was good, and we were dry and safe and warm. We had a fantastic meal
Yeah, with
by the Roman amphitheater. With
Yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful waiter.
who we shared our stories with.
We did,
And he was like, you have courage.
and yeah, we do. But anyway, we have to go right now because we have a friend who's helping us try to rescue our bikes. Oh, so